David.
Huh?
David, we're live.
I know.
Oh, all right.
Hi, everyone. I don't know why my shirt is kind of blue. Am I blue? Welcome back to the encore presentation of FabMax. We are certainly glad to have you here today to talk about the systems in place and the great, big, expensive effort that goes into making sure that we capture as many of your potential buyer leads from your listings as humanly possible. I hope you're looking forward to this. There have been some changes to the program from its previous iteration as Fab Plus. So we want to make you clear on exactly what you are paying for within your AVP package and exactly how you can leverage this to make the most of the potential leads that are coming to you through the interwebs. So I hope you're ready. Let's kick it off and begin our slide presentation presently. Presentation. Hey, let's talk for a moment about what's better than Fab Plus. Let me tell you what's better than Fab Plus. Maximum, or as we are referring to it fondly here in the state of Colorado, Fab Maximum, or FabMax. FabMax. FabMax is, as I said, how we drive leads to your listing pages on a variety of internets. There's only one. Sorry. On a variety of websites across the whole country. More than 900 of them. And we're going to get into it today. I know that it's 420, and I'm not speaking all that clearly, but there's no correlation there. I'm telling you. All right. Let's talk about which websites are FabMax websites, by the way. And I think we know this list has not changed all that much, although we have upped the number of websites that we send you off to. The main ones that are included, the four majors, the big hitters out there, the ones that receive the vast majority of the traffic for people looking for real estate to purchase, are Realtor.com, Homes.com, and our friends at Zillow Trulia. Friends I use, they're our friends. We love them. They're good. They're there. It's all about them. Additionally, however, we syndicate to as many as 900 other regional and local websites where people might be searching for real estate, and we make sure that you are prominently featured everywhere in the best possible way we are able to arrange. So let's talk a little further about that. But your main websites and where you will see the vast majority of your traffic, Realtor.com, Homes.com, Zillow, and Trulia. Okay. Will all the traffic from these 900 sites be reported in the Insight report? When you are looking at Insight, if you're unfamiliar with this, you have the opportunity to examine the analytics of your internet hits and where are people shopping for listings that you have out there on the internet. We are not going to track that from 900 websites. In fact, you're probably going to be relieved that we're not tracking that from 900 websites. But these primary sites, you are able to go in there and see how much traffic you are driving to your listings by site. So you can go to the report in the Insight will show you how many people are coming to look at your listings from Realtor.com, Homes.com, Zillow, Trulia, Coldwell Banker, Homes, of course, ColdwellBanker.com, Coldwell Banker Luxury, which is probably now GlobalLuxury.com, I think, Home Finder Network, and WSJ.com, the Wall Street Journal. So all of those you are able to use, and those are valuable for you in terms of, if I was sitting in a listing presentation, for example, I would love to show a seller. On the listing I just took last month, here are how many people visited my site on Realtor.com, Homes, Zillow, Trulia, so on and so forth. Having a grasp over this is going to be critical the smarter and smarter our client base gets. So this is not something that we just use to collect buyer clients, but it's something that we also can leverage in our listing presentations. And as Chris McGatt has said, for almost 3 years in a row now, this is the year of the listing. Anybody want to take a listing this year? Raise your hand, wherever you are. If you want to take a listing this year, raise your coffee and have a sip with me. Let's all have more listings this year. Let's all just agree right here now with each other that we'll each take an additional 10 listings this year. That would be terrific. That's almost enough to get you to the Broadmoor all by itself. Okay, so enough about that. Let's talk about how often are the listings, my listings, sent from the MLS to the various partner websites. And the answer varies depending on the site. How soon will I see my new listing? Again, it's the internet. And that information is culled out of our MLS. And what the websites do with it after that becomes a little bit more of a gray area. I'm sure that comes as no surprise to you. But we don't have easy, reliable ways to always tell Realtor, Trulia, Zillow, Homes, and a lot of the other sites exactly when they need to make our listings public. But they obviously are in the business of trying to sell homes just like we are, so they want to get it done right. Sometimes they don't. So let's talk about it. The feeds are as follows. From Realtor.com, they come and take data out of the MLS 6 times a day. Trulia does this 4 times a day. Zillow does it 10 times a day. Homes.com 8 times a day, and most of the other sites will do it at some varying time during the day just once. So a lot of those other less major sites, it's going to take longer, obviously, with them only pulling that data once a day. Okay? Note, if you do not see your new listings or you don't see any changes you made to your listings, price adjustments or remarks or things that you changed, if those are not refreshed in a timely way, please do feel free to call the NRT Help Desk, and we will try to get those things corrected for you just as quickly as we possibly can. NRT Help Desk, 877 NRT Help. That's 877 NRT HELP. You're going to want to respond to them with the MLS ID number and give them the details of what ain't right, and hopefully they can make it right for you as quickly as possible. But that's how often the sites should update according to their own information. I have a box on my screen that's a little confusing to me. I think we're all right. Or perhaps we're not. Could be that I am briefly frozen. No, didn't like that. Bear with me. Hey, what's going on for you folks out there? Oh, look, it went forward. Maybe we're okay now. All right. What will be displayed on your new listings? Let's talk about what will be displayed on your new listings. Under the former situation with Zillow, if you look at this particular listing from our lovely, talented friend Patty Johnson, this is the way things used to look on Zillow. They will no longer look this way. However, your listings will still have your photo and contact information. They will have multiple photos and multimedia virtual tours wherever that's possible, links to your profile, or in some cases, linked to your profile in Coldwell Banker Homes or your InTouch website, which is what I would really highly recommend. The more traffic you can drive to that, the more you can leverage your InTouch website to really make it a cornerstone of your digital footprint out there, and it's just going to be critical as our client base gets younger and younger and more tech savvy. We have to be able to be found, and we have to know what people are going to find when they go look. So driving people to your InTouch website, probably the best single thing you can do for your business without spending an additional dime in marketing that you're not already spending. Unless you want to go to InTouch Pro, which I also advise, but that's a story for another day. Okay, so keep that in mind. There will be a little bit of a change to the way things look with Zillow and Trulia, and we'll get into it in a minute, but all of this information will still be available on your listing detail pages on those websites. Super, super important regarding your Coldwell Banker Homes profile. I don't know if you're aware of this, but in the NRT Gateway is where you can get into this and make sure that your personal profile page has the photography you want on it and has all of the phone numbers. If you look at the example we put on your screen here, you'll note that the direct phone line is missing. That direct phone line, I know that the office administrators throughout all of our offices here in the Metro are working on this currently to make sure that we've got these up to date for all of our agents, but it will not hurt you to be proactive and go in here and take a look. Do you have the photograph that was taken at Glamour Shots in 1984? Maybe it's time to update that. I don't know. I'm not here to judge. I don't know. But I will tell you this. You want your direct phone line to be the phone number you want people to call you at directly. So probably your cell phone, but that's up to you. Something needs to be in there. Our company is paying a great deal of money to make sure that we're wrangling these leads off of the internet, and we don't want them to go nowhere. The National Association of Realtors tells us that upwards of 40% of all internet leads are never followed up with. Never? Did I just say never? Katrina's not even listening to me.
Never.
Or
is
never.
What you said.
I said never. Never followed up on. That's just sad. So we don't want to be members of that sorry group, do we? So to that extent, go in here and look and make sure that your direct phone number reflects what you want it to be. You don't want it to be your main office number because we don't want your leads on your listings to accidentally get rolled over to somebody who's working floor duty that day. Obviously, all of our agents are qualified, but you as the listing agent know the most about the property in question. So double check on this and make sure that this is being corrected by your OAs and be proactive about it. This is critical, okay? Enough said about that. Sorry, I'm not preaching anymore. I will move right along. Let's talk a little bit about will I still be the only agent displayed on my listings? The answer is a resounding yes and no. But the yes, let's talk about the yes part first. Realtor.com and Homes.com, you will be the exclusive listing agent and the only featured agent on your listings. So if we look at this example, showing our friend Mike Desmarius here from the Denver Central office, you can see that he is branded both with picture and with his contact information, the Coldwell Banker logo, all of that across the top of the picture of the listing. So this will continue to be this way. If someone lands on one of your property detail pages and they request more information, that information is going to come direct to you via lead router, and we will talk a little bit more about that as we move through this. But for these two websites, this is a new branding. We think it's pretty slick. It's kind of clean and new. So we're happy about that, and that's the way it's going to work with Realtor and Homes.com. Let's talk about Zillow and Trulia. Will I be the only agent displayed on my new listing? Remember when I said yes and no? Here's the no part. Zillow and Trulia, although we had previously an agreement with them to allow us to block everyone else from your listing detail pages, has decided no longer to allow that for anyone. No matter how much we paid them, no matter what we offered them, we were really nice to them, and they still said, nay, you may not do that. So, obviously, Zillow is in the business of selling advertising, and they do that a lot of the time with agents, as many of you well know, and I'm sure many of you are customers of Zillow and Trulia. They are no longer going to allow us to block all other agents except the listing agent from these detail pages. There will now be choices there for you. But there's more to this, and there's some good news sitting behind what potentially could seem like bad news. So, watch for that. You will be the first listed agent on all of your listing detail pages. So in this case, this would be Brad Jensen's listing. And he is the listing agent first listed to the right of the property pictures, along with 3 other premier agents who've opted to purchase that advertising space. So the other people who will populate onto your listing detail pages are people who paid to be in those zip codes. So that's something important, but sometimes confusing. Follow me if you will. I'll try to make it as clear as I can. How will my listings appear in the search? Will they be prominent in the results? The 4 main sites, which will be displayed based on the results relevant to the user's search. So whatever criteria the potential end user wants to put into the computer, it's going to kick up the results based on those criteria. The exception on Zillow and Trulia only, listings that have a video in all of their pictures. So if you've got if you're using listing rewards, you have video. So we want to make sure that we're using that, because listings with a video will display first in the search results the first time only, one time only. So on that potential buyer's first visit to Zillow or Trulia, they're going to see the video enhanced listings first. If we're not doing that, that's a big miss for us. That will be a mistake, and we will see some additional reasons why that is as we move through the presentation here. But embrace the video, folks. Moving pictures. I know it's all new and different ever since the 1920s. We've barely come to grasp this whole video thing. Time to get behind this and really pay attention to what kind of quality marketing are we offering to our seller clients. Good to know? Good to know. This video being pushed up to the top of the list is known as a boost, and it'll happen just that one time, the first time the visitor's search results show the property. After that, not so much. Okay? Keep that in mind. Will the Zestimate be suppressed? And we all know that the Zestimate is a fluffy, useless piece of financial information that can really screw up our pricing strategy and make us look stupid. Well, nobody likes that. So we have negotiated on your behalf with our friends who do the Zestimate to make it harder to find on our listing detail pages. So the Zestimate will be below the fold on NRT listings. That means they're going to have to scroll down to go find it. So if your price looks out of whack from the Zestimate, the odds that they will find it are greatly reduced. We did that because we knew you would want us to do that, and you're welcome. Hey, how about leads? What happens with the leads? Not a whole lot of change here from the process as it has existed for a period of time here in the market. How will your leads be delivered to you? All leads from your listings on all of these websites, will be delivered to you with a 15-minute claim time, and once you've accepted them, they will appear in your InTouch CRM system. So this is lead routing. You will get a phone call in real time. Phone. Are they see me? Or are they just looking at the slides? Well, you can't see me. Funny. Okay. Yes. So you will get an email, a text, a phone call in real time from the lead router system, and you're going to want to claim that lead within 15 minutes time. Now, if you're like me, and I've had lead router for a long time in my life, even when I was selling real estate, it never fails that my lead comes through when I'm in the shower, when I'm driving 80 miles an hour down the left lane of I-25. Whenever it's least convenient, that's when it's going to come in. But make sure you claim that lead. Because we pay to capture these leads, we don't want any of them going off into the wormhole. So any leads that are not claimed within 15 minutes will roll over to our E-team members. So pay attention to that. You don't want to be losing leads that you earned yourself by getting great listings and putting them up on the internet the way you did. So make sure you claim those in 15 minutes. Appreciate that. Again, we talked about the phone numbers and how critically important it is to make sure that that direct phone line is filled in, probably with your cell phone. Okay. Will I receive all leads on my listings? On Realtor.com and Homes.com, the listing agent will be the only agent shown, and leads will always go to you. So no change really from there, from what we've got going on. We love Realtor.com and Homes.com right now, but you will, if anybody requests more information on those listings, be the only one who receives that information. Zillow and Trulia, this is where things have changed. Our friends at Zillow and Trulia no longer wish to allow us to block everybody else. So the listing agent is the first agent of 4 that will be displayed on the listing detail page. And the other 3 people may or may not be with Coldwell Banker. You can bet whoever they are that they paid to be there. So on those 4 websites, those leads will go with a 15-minute claim. So people can still choose you, and you will be the first agent of choice on that page, but they will have other options there as well. And that's the way that goes. But there's good news still sitting behind that. Let's discuss it a little bit. Will I be the only agent displayed on my listing? Yes, on Realtor.com you will. As I showed you before, here's Mike Desmarius and his branding. This is the way it will look for all of us, and I think that will be good for driving leads to you. A lot of people are using Realtor.com and Homes.com these days, and we'll talk a little bit more about the trends that we see across these websites as well. What if the consumer submits a request for more information on Trulia or Zillow, but doesn't check a box next to the agent? So if you look at this list of 4 agents, you can see the checkbox next to them. If they reach out to any of those agents, they can do all 4 at once if they want. But if they reach out to someone, not you, if no agent is checked or they don't check anyone, the lead will be delivered to their first paying premier agent on the contact form. In other words, one of Zillow's customers who has paid to have their pretty little realtor face sitting on this page by paying to participate in that zip code. So whichever one of them is paying. Now I know a lot of you out here in WebEx land are probably premier agents and are already working with Zillow. Do not expect to receive these leads unless you are paying for the zip code in which the subject property sits. So if you're paying for a different zip code, don't expect that even if this is your listing that you're going to get this lead. You would be losing it. That's a little spooky, so adjust where you're spending your money if necessary, but know that, okay? Now, here is where this part does get cool, and this is what we were able to save of our much more exclusive agreement with Zillow and Trulia. The minute somebody requests more information from someone, any of those other 3 agents on that page, you're going to get an automatically generated email that is sent to you, the listing agent, with the contact information of the agent who did get the lead, as well as the contact information of the client or the end user out there who wanted the information. So you're going to get access to all of that in real time the minute somebody requests information. The leads are never sent to all the agents on the list unless the buyer physically checks all 4 of the agents. So what's the good news about this? What does it mean? How does this work? In the event that somebody looks at your listing, but they decide not to choose you, and I can show you some reasons why they might not, they choose somebody else, you're still going to get an email that says somebody wants information on your property. So you still have a chance to be in the game. The National Association, did I just talk about this already? The National Association says that more than 40% of real estate leads just don't get answered at all. Did I already say that in this presentation? I can swear I did. In any case,
That's great to hear again.
a whole bunch of people a whole bunch of real estate agents out there, hard as it is to believe, will not respond to an internet lead who wanted more information on one of their listings. That just blows my mind, but we're not going to be like that, because that's not the way we do things around here. So if you are informed that someone's asking the question, you still have the opportunity to be the first person to reach out to that end user and potentially convert them into a client and turn them into a buy side for your business. Hey, we've purchased lead notifications for each of your listings. So every time on Zillow.com or on Trulia.com, somebody requests information on one of your listings from anybody, you're going to get notified in real time. And that's critically important. So take a look at this email, if you will. Take a mental photograph, because this is something that you probably see a lot of stuff from these guys. And if any of it's landing in your spam filter or you're not paying attention to it, now it's going to be time to make sure you're reading these. So this particular one talks about, and the subject line will say, a forward notification of a Zillow listing activity. This basically says, here's who got the lead, and here's who submitted the lead. Here's the person that you can contact. You're going to get this just as fast as that other agent does. So this is the early bird gets the worm scenario here. Make sure that you're paying attention when these emails come in, because you can still, now the phone call should sound a lot like, hi, I understand that you had an inquiry about my listing. Are you working with an agent? Let me say that again. Are you working with an agent? We don't want to be walking behind somebody's sign here, but by asking that question, you are still totally in the clear to give information about that property to that client. And frequently, they're not already represented. Most of the time, they're probably not already represented. So that's still your opportunity, just as we had it before. The other agents aren't blocked, but you still have the edge on them. Is that cool? Does that make sense? Everybody get me? Any questions out there from the Cyberland?
Somebody would like to know if the email templates are going to be available after our presentation.
The email template. Sure, although it's only a two-line email. Okay, so are the email templates going to be available? Sure, certainly we can make that available to you. I can send that out to all the agents, and we'd be happy to do so. If somebody has a specific question, they can feel free to reach out to me at the Denver Central office. I'm David Walsh. David Walsh. I would be happy to email it directly to you, my friendly agent out there in Cyberland. Okay, so that's what that email looks like. Now on Zillow and Trulia, what happens if you're the listing agent, but the user chooses to send the lead to another agent displayed on that page? You're still going to get that email. So you're going to be able to convert that lead with at least as much frequency and reliability as any other agent that's listed on the page. Just be aware of that, okay? All right, so we kind of talked about this, and you'll notice in the body of the email that this is going to show you that VIP at Kittle Team, that is the agent who they chose to get more information from. But by clicking the click here button just down there in the body of the email, you will get all the contact information for the end user who made the request. So you'll have access to get a hold of that person. And that's pretty cool. I think that kind of saves our bacon from our new relationship with Zillow and Trulia. We're very happy about that. This is not an inexpensive undertaking. Let's get into that as we get to it. Now here is the email template that we discussed just a moment ago. It would be wise if the early bird truly does get the worm, if you had this template built for yourself and sitting somewhere where you can get to it quickly, so that when you do receive one of these notifications that someone's making a request for information from Zillow or Trulia, that you can get out this kind of prepackaged email that says, "Dear buyer, thanks for inquiring about my listing. As you may know, the listing agent of this property, that means I know more about the property, its features, the neighborhood. It would be a pleasure to answer any questions you may have or to schedule a tour when it's convenient for you." So if you're the first person to get this out, statistics also show us that there's a much, much higher propensity for people who are shopping for real estate on the internet to work with the first person who reaches back out to them. So to that extent, I wouldn't want to type this every time one of these comes through, especially if you take a lot of listings. You're going to see that email come through quite a bit from Zillow and Trulia. So get yourself or get your assistant to make up this template. It's nothing serious, but it's a quick, easy way to get your information out to that potential buyer, thereby capturing the lead. Hey, how would we make the most of FabMax? Why are we even talking about all this? What does it really do for me? Well, there are some things you can do to leverage your internet presence, and it's critical that you do so, and never been more so. It's getting worse, as a matter of fact. Worse if you don't like technology, better if you do. Let's just take a look. What can I do in general to maximize my presence online? It's absolutely critical in this day and age. We've got most of the world out there shopping for real estate, and they're not even using their laptop. Most of them are on their telephone. So, how we are mobily enabled, and what does our presence look like? What's our footprint out there on the internet? Absolutely critical to us. I meet somebody at an open house. I meet somebody at a cocktail party. I meet somebody anywhere, and they're possibly considering using me as a real estate agent. What's the first thing they're going to go do? I know you're all saying it out there. They're going to internet stalk you. They're all going to go find you on the internet. They want to know who you are. So, I don't know when the last time anybody out there Googled themselves to see exactly what they find. This is no fun for me. I have such a common name that there are a world full of much more famous and powerful David Walshes than me. But go and look and see for yourself. What are clients finding when they go to find you on the internet? If we don't know that, we are doing a disservice to our own business. So make sure to know how to do this. First on your list of how to make this particular system really work for you, complete your free profile on Zillow. You only have to do it once. Anything that you change or anything that you add will automatically filter over to Trulia for you. But if you go to Zillow.com and click Join in the upper right-hand corner of the page, then you can go ahead and register with Zillow as an industry professional and complete the contact fields. Notice this says complete them. So to the extent that you don't want to leave anything blank, make sure that you're thorough about this and go ahead and do this for yourself. It will certainly assist. The other thing about this, once you're in your Zillow profile edit, you can upload your photos. You want to make sure you're using your most current photography. And do not hesitate or do not neglect to fill out the About Me section. About Me is really, why are you passionate? Why are you doing this? And we know that people care about that right now. When I think about the amount of time I spend or the amount of time other people spend on my Facebook business page, it's boring as all get out. I'm in real estate. I sell real estate. Look at my listing. Look at my closing. Look at my buyer. Look at my listing. It's boring. People turn you off. What they want to know is, who are you? Bear in mind, houses don't sell houses. People sell houses. Wow. I should put that on a plaque. That was pretty good. All right. So you're in here and you have updated all your information. Now you can use the top navigation bar to manage your listings, upload past sales, and more. And what would more mean? What do you think we mean by more? Bear in mind, you only have to do this once. Trulia will pick it up automatically. Let's talk about it. We'll talk about it here in a minute, but we're not there yet because I forgot which slide was next, and this slide is next. Okay, so what are the reviews on Zillow and Trulia, and why do I see stars next to some agents? No, this is on point. Okay, so Brad Jensen, if you look here, take a look at these 4 agents to the right of the property detail page here. Brad Jensen, Lisa Taylor, Wayne Keith, and Eddie Givens. All of them have stars next to their names. This is critically important. Anybody use Yelp to decide where to buy dinner or go buy, I don't know, things that you buy? Yelp is all about this, and we know from our internet research that people are really paying attention to this. So let's discuss. Immediately beneath Brad Jensen's name, he's got all 5 stars lit up, and he has the number 14 in parentheses after that. Those are the number of reviews that those 5 stars are based on. We also know that people will be attracted to whatever they see that has the most stars and the most reviews. The more reviews you have and you maintain a 5-star rating, that's just a better agent. So if we look here, Brad Jensen, the listing agent of this property, has got good odds of getting selected because he's first on the list and he is the listing agent. He's got 5 stars. However, take a look at his reviews. He's got 14 of them, whereas Lisa Taylor has 39, whereas Wayne has 48. And then poor Eddie down there at the bottom only has 8. So if somebody is looking at all of that little graphic gobbledygook over there, which of these people are they most likely to pick? Well, I'd say Wayne might be top on my list of who to choose because he's got all those reviews. So it's absolutely critical that we are not only remembering to ask for testimonials from our clients and ask for reviews from our clients, but that we are loading them where they will do us the most good. And Zillow and Trulia, while they continue to be, they may be losing a certain degree of market share out there, and we're finding that Realtor.com is kind of eating some of their lunch for them. They are still, by and large, the biggest collector of internet leads out there for real estate. So pay attention to this. This is critical. You want to make sure that you are regularly updating this information, and as you get reviews from people, make sure that you're publishing them here. Critically important. Okay, moving right along. It's very important that you get these reviews. They're going to generate a lot more of your listings. And think, if you're a consumer with a few options of agents to choose from, are you going to pick the agent who has no profile, the one who doesn't have a picture up there, the one who's got no ratings or no reviews? Does he look like he's been working for anybody? Do you as a buyer want to work with somebody that never ever sold anything before? I don't. So, this is, think about what you look like to the public out there. Data shows that agents with 10 or more reviews, so think about this, 10 or more, anything over 10, get 5 times as many leads. Would you like 5 times as many leads on your listings right now? Would anybody like 5 times as many leads for anything? I would. Tell you what, I sure would. You darn tootin'. Okay, so requesting client reviews is easy through the system. However, the situation with this, speaking of junk mail and your spam folders, make sure that you are picking up the phone and letting clients know that they can be expecting this email, and kindly request that they participate by filling out a review on your behalf. Because if this just pops into their inbox, odds are good they're going to toss it out. They're going to throw it away, or it's going to get scooped up in their spam filter and they'll never see it. So don't expect that just because you send out this request through the Zillow system that people are going to do that. Use this as another opportunity to reach back out to past clients have a great conversation with them, remind them you're in the business, remind them why they liked you in the first place, and then get them to write one of these reviews for you, hopefully rating you high, off the charts. If everybody gives you 6 stars, they won't show because it only gives you 5 stars. Just saying. You can request multiple reviews at one time. This might make sense if you're just catching up on this, but again, I would not forget to pick up the phone and let those clients know that it's coming. If this looks like a simple form letter from you, they're going to blow it off. So you have the ability to personalize that message a little bit. I would definitely take the extra few moments and do that to make sure that you're capturing as many of these as you possibly can. We should be doing this after every closing, even during every closing. You can let your client know, hey, this is going to be coming from Zillow Group. Can you please fill it out for me? I rely upon your kindness in my business. It's true. So, again, what is the end result of something like this? Here we see a property that was listed for almost $1.6 million, and it may or may not have been listed by the Wolf Group. But let's take a look at that. Look at those graphics there. The Wolf Group, for being a large group of people, appear never to have sold any real estate in their entire life. They have 0 stars lit up. They have 0 reviews. They are not paying attention to their digital footprint. Whereas Lisa Taylor and Christopher Narn down there further have got reviews. Lisa Taylor's got 48 reviews there. So if I'm the consumer and I'm thinking, well, I want to talk to somebody who knows what they're doing, the Wolf Group is not looking all that appealing to me, but Lisa Taylor's looking pretty good. Let's all be Lisa Taylor. Let's all make a pact to go out and be Lisa Taylor. So let's make this run and get the most out of your $97 a month in your AVP by making the most of FabMax. Okay? Again, just another shot of this and how many reviews are going to be necessary to make it work for you. Here's another one. Does Keller offer blocking of these things? Nobody is offering on Zillow Group. No one can block anybody else, so it's just not going to work that way. Used to, but no more is it going to work in that way. Let's talk about Realtor.com because some of the more exciting things in our program, FabMax, are coming out of our relationship with Realtor.com and Homes.com. We are noticing in the marketplace that we're getting a higher conversion rate with Realtor.com clients than we are with Zillow and Trulia, and the leads are better. People who have used the National Association's websites, which Realtor.com is a member of, they've done better research, and they are better qualified, by and large, as buyer clients for us. So we are really stoked about strengthening our relationship with Realtor.com in this marketplace and across the country. And what does that do for us? Well, NRT spent $7 million this year making Realtor.com's single largest cash client. This is not a small dollar amount to go spend on a thing like this, but we know as a corporation, as a brand, we want to be putting the money in the right places to make sure it's driving business and traffic to you, our agents. And to that extent, we knew it was worth the money. So we went ahead and got out the big checkbook and wrote $7 million to Realtor.com to make what we are doing with our listings there a possibility for you and a benefit to your business. So you look at this. Here is someone that is not a Coldwell Banker agent. You can see that if you look close up in that little teeny corner, this says that it's presented by Richard Garaka with some tiny Metro broker's office. It's not all that, demanding on your attention. In fact, it's pretty easy to overlook and not good enough for what we were trying to accomplish. However, you will notice that Richard is the only person mentioned on the page. Here's our listing again with Mike Desmarius, and you can see he is photo branded. He has his phone numbers there. We have our logo up there. It's clean, it's unobtrusive, but it's also quite noticeable. If you go to this website and you go to this page and you want more information on this listing, the only person you're going to get into contact with is going to be Mike Desmarius. And that will happen through the lead router system right away. So we talked about leads already. Mike would have 15 minutes to collect any of those internet leads and then follow up with them, hopefully converting some of those folks to buyers. I'm sure this house is long gone by now because Mike knows his stuff and he probably did this already. So anyway, just be aware of that. This is what our profile pages, our detail pages are going to look like on Realtor.com. Okay, we've been through a lot. I covered it very, very quickly, so I hope that we are all up to speed. What is better than Fab Plus? I'm sure you will agree with me now that FabMax is the road we're on now, and it's going to lead to even more business than we were creating with the old program. So we're super happy to have had you here with us today. I don't think I have anything more to say about that. So I wish you a lovely 420 here in the Mile High City. Be careful out there, folks, and have a great day. Thanks a lot.